This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on January 26th, 2017. Our time is 8:43 Mountain. Now, today, we are on early. Normally, we're on at 3 o'clock on 6:30 CHED Sundays, but today, 12:30 to 1:30, the NHL All-Star Game is on right after our show on CHED, and we say good luck to Connor McDavid, one of the captains of the All-Star team. The game is in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, the Kings celebrating their 50th anniversary. Nice to have the All-Star game in L.A., and good luck to Connor McDavid, and it should be an outstanding All-Star game. Don't forget, if you ever miss a radio show, they're archived on Harold's two websites, HESradio.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have a podcast. So many people love podcasts. I talk to lots of people who listen to our show via podcast, and we have it right on the iTunes platform. Type in the World Financial Report on Radio. We are there. You can be a part of our podcast. We go on any portable device that you have. Our radio show goes anywhere you do. Connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com, our featured diamond of the week. And we'll talk about this diamond in the second half of the show. It's outstanding. It's a .51 carat, radiant cut, fancy Intensia orange. It is outstanding, the color and the cut. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured Diamond of the Week. One of the big stories of the week, the Dow Jones topped 20,000 Wednesday on an earnings rally. And it was interesting to note that it gained 1,000 points, the second fastest in its history. But the Dow is now at 20,000 after trying multiple times to get to that mark. It is finally broken through. And Harold, give us an update on the Dow, but also the currency markets, precious metals. What are your thoughts for the week?
Well, we're almost out of January, and January has always been a big month for gold. In fact, last year, in 2016, it started the year at 1,050. And went all the way to 1,380. So we saw about a 30% increase last year in the price of gold at the beginning of the year. And then it started settling down, and we felt that at 1,380, the market would not go above that level. In fact, we felt that the market was going to go back and test the 1,050 level. And that's exactly what did happen. At this particular point, the market did go up in the month of January. In fact, it was very strong at the beginning, but now the month is almost over, and gold is starting to head back down. We're trading right now. In actual fact, we did get up to a high of 1,230. We're now down to 1,180. It's down 16 and change on the day. A lot of this is going to do with the U.S. dollar. The best trade that we could recommend at this particular point is go long the U.S. dollar and short the Canadian dollar. I'm Canadian, so is Randy. We love Canada. We love everything about Canada, but this is got nothing to do with that. The fact is that the Canadian dollar is going to fall substantially, and the fact is that if you're not prepared for that, it's going to hurt you substantially. Don't forget during Brexit, which happened several months ago, but nobody knew which way the Brexit decision was really going to go. Some people hedged their currency bet. But people that just sat there and didn't do anything lost 25% of their net worth within 1 hour. That's how important the currency markets are. And if you don't understand the currency markets, you need to get in touch with me because I can explain it to you in a more simplistic form. But the fact is that the currencies affect almost everything that we do, our buying power, our traveling, everything. If you were to travel to the United States today and you wanted to convert and get $1,000 American, it would cost you $1,320 Canadian to buy $1,000 American. So that's the simplest way to look at it. If you were to go to the U.S. right now and you needed $1,000 in cash, you'd have to pay 1,320 Canadian to get 1,000 American. What we're anticipating is going to happen over the next while is that the U.S. dollar is going to hit record highs because the U.S. is the only country in the world that can raise interest rates. And we saw interest rate rise at the end of 2016, and we're going to see at least 3 more interest rate rises in 2017, which is going to push the U.S. dollar, in my opinion, to the highest level it's ever been. I think the U.S. dollar is going to go, and I know this sounds a little confusing, to the $1.15 level against a basket of other foreign currencies. And again, if you don't understand it, you can always call me and I'll explain it to you so you'll understand it better. But the fact is that soon the U.S. dollar is going to hit record highs again, and the Canadian dollar is going to hit record lows. That means there'll be a 50% difference between the Canadian and American dollar. So if you were going to go to the United States at that point, it would cost you 2,000 Canadian to get 1,000 American. That's how substantial this move is going to be coming up. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that we've traded these markets for 35 years. In actual fact, when the Brexit situation was coming, I had clients that wanted to hedge their position because I've got some clients in England and in Britain that are very, very wealthy, and they didn't want to take the chance of losing, whatever amount of their net worth was going to lose if the Brexit situation went against them. So what we did is we bought deep out of the money calls and we bought deep out of the money puts, and the market was so volatile at that point that my clients made 500% return on their money within 1 hour. That's how substantial that move was. So we understand the currency markets. We understand that when the U.S. dollar is going to hit the levels that it's going to hit, that other currencies are going to fall, and one of them is going to be the Canadian. And because most of my clients are in Canada, we started getting our clients out of Canadian dollar-based investments a few years ago. And now our clients are not only doing extremely well in our private investments, but they're getting paid in American money. Now, right now, the Canadian dollar is about 30% discount to the U.S. dollar. Soon it's going to be a 50% discount. So we have a lot of room in order to make an awful lot of money in the currency markets. But the most important thing is not to sit there and just watch this happen and say, I didn't know what to do. We've been doing this for a long time. Our clients are making a lot of money in private investments with me, but on top of that, we're making it in American dollars, which is paramount. So what we need to do is we need to get out of your bad investments that are not doing well at this particular point. Now, over the long term, I'm very bullish on silver and gold. However, over the short term, I'm bearish. There's no doubt in my mind that if the U.S. dollar goes to 115, which I give it a 95% chance of happening, that's going to push gold down to the lower levels. It's going to break 1,050 and possibly go as low as $900 or $850, which is the heaviest support level for gold. That's where gold went to in 1980, its highs, and that's where gold went to before it broke out and went to 1900. So it's very possible that gold could go back down to $850, and it's also very possible that silver could go to $10 or less. If you're holding physical silver at this point here, and you're realizing gold, and you're realizing that the markets are going substantially against you, you need to call me, and I can show you how to convert that physical gold or silver into a much more substantial market in private investments, because at this particular point, again, even though the Dow broke 20,000, 90% of the people that trade the stock market still lose their money. People that try to pick individual stocks as opposed to a trend in the market still lose their money. So that's not something that we recommend to our clients. We recommend alternative investments that are outside of that system, that are not manipulated, that are much better markets, and again, are markets that we actually trade in ourselves. These are investments that I personally make for my company and for my family and for my clients. And as listeners to our radio show, these private investments are available to you, and we will show you not only how to get involved in them, how our clients are making over 25% a year on them, but also they're making that money in American dollars, which is adding a tremendous amount to the bottom line. So if you're sitting with assets like retirement savings plans that have not made money for you in the last 10 years, let me show you how to work around that, and let me show you how to start to make money again in these markets. If you're sitting with physical metals at this point and you're getting beaten up, and again, you realize that gold and silver are about to take another massive drop, you need to get out of those positions over this term, and we can get back into the market at another time at a much lower level. So please give me a call. Let me explain to you what we're doing, how our clients are getting returns in American dollars and making over 25% a year. We need to get out of bad investments, retirement savings plans, physical gold or leveraged gold especially. If you're sitting with finance, gold, or silver at this particular point, you need to get out of that. You need to get in touch with me. Let me show you how we get out of those markets and put that money to work for you in an area that's going to do much, much better for you. There's no sense in sitting in a market at this point here that's going to drop another 20 or 30 or 40%. So we need at this particular point to be smart about what we're doing, not get emotional about it, but be smart and get into the right markets now, because we stand an opportunity to make an awful lot of money. Again, at this particular point, gold is down $15 as we speak. Silver's down 30 cents. You've got the Canadian dollar down slightly on the day. The American dollar is up 65 points. And again, at this point, there's a lot of confusion out there. There's a lot of people that don't know what to do in this kind of market. We've got a new president in the United States, Donald Trump. He's a bit of a loose cannon. There's a lot of things that he's doing that I like, but there's things that are very concerning also. One of them is building the wall to keep Mexicans out of the United States. Not that they don't have to protect the borders. The bottom line is that that's going to cause a lot of problems and a lot of issues between Mexico and the United States. But at least he's living up to his promises that he made when he got into office, and that's something that most presidents don't do. So we're going to have to monitor that very closely. Again, he's a loose cannon, but he's a brilliant businessman, and that's what the United States needs at this point, is a businessman to get us out of these horrific situations that we're in at this point. So that's what I'm seeing right now, Andy. I'm seeing a very strong U.S. dollar, very weak foreign currencies against the U.S. dollar, which is going to push gold and silver prices lower. We need to get out of bad investments at this point and put our money to work so we can start to make some serious money. The other thing is, with interest rates at 0.5% in Canada and soon going to go negative, it basically means that if you're keeping your money in the bank, you're going to pay the bank interest. They're not going to pay you interest. You need to learn what's happening in the banking system, and I can help you with that. There's new bail-ins happening. There's horrific situations happening in the Canadian banking system that most Canadians don't know about, and you need to know about it quickly. So, again, get in touch. I'll spend as much time with you as you need to explain the currency markets to you and what your options are going forward. I'll help you get out of bad investments and put that money to work for you in much stronger investments that will pay you in very strong U.S. dollars.
Call Harold. Mark this number down, 1-800-432-1022. Mark it down, put it in your smartphone, your tablet. Give Harold a call on Monday, 1-800-432-1022. The call is free, and anything discussed is confidential. The website, you can connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, our featured diamond of the week. And we'll talk about diamonds in the second half of the show. Is a 0.51 carat radiant cut, fancy, intense orange. It is a beauty. We have a great quote this week from Chris Delgato, who is a jewelry expert. Jewelry is an investment you can wear for 30 years and then sell. What else can you do that with? Very, very true. We'll talk more about diamonds in the second half of the show. Call Harold. He takes calls all week from our radio listeners. He'll be happy to speak with you. 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Get our free weekly newsletter from Herald as well. We have stories about the U.S. dollar. In fact, here comes another dollar rally. This is a story we have in our free weekly newsletter. We expect the U.S. dollar to grind higher this year, but at a slower pace and with bumps along the way. Now, we have a chart in our newsletter. It says this chart helps explain what could drive the greenback to further appreciation. The chart shows that a higher yield differential between the U.S. and German government bond yields in the past typically spurs more foreign purchases of U.S. bonds supporting the dollar. U.S.-led economic reflation, Federal Reserve rate increases, and expectations of fiscal stimulus are likely to widen the gap between the United States and overseas interest rates. As a result, people will move their money to where they can get the best yield, and that is the United States. Also, the dollar will advance as Trump can't have it all, according to HSBC. They go on to say Donald Trump can't have a weaker dollar and protectionist trade policies, according to HSBC. Trump's election pledge to bring back jobs and revive U.S. manufacturing will starve emerging markets of those excess dollars that are outside, according to David Bloom. He's the global head of currency strategy at HSBC. He told Bloomberg in an interview the greenback will get a boost when investments flow back to the world's largest economy. If Trump loosens fiscal policy, which he says he will, that means tighter monetary policy and a stronger dollar. And he goes on to add, Trump can't have a weaker dollar, fiscal policy, and higher rates. You just can't have it all. In fact, Janet Yellen spoke Wednesday and said the U.S. economy is close to the central bank's objective of full employment and stable prices, and she is confident it will continue to improve. I and most of my colleagues were expecting last month and the increase in the benchmark lending rate to obviously spur more in the future. A few times a year. They're talking about rate increases of 3 times in 2017 and probably 3 or 4 times in 18 and 19. The Fed obviously is going to have a fiscal policy that would be a key driver for the dollar, and the dollar will continue to go up as a result of these increases in interest rates. One of the things we have in our newsletter as well, a story, Trump trade risks seen spreading from the Mexican peso to the Canadian dollar. And they're worried that the Canadian dollar may have more at stake if protectionist policies do materialize in the United States. One of the things that was nice this week, U.S. President Trump came out, gave his support for the Keystone XL pipeline. Obviously, it has to be negotiated. The Canadian dollar popped up a cent. But the truth of the matter is, he wants to renegotiate NAFTA with Canada. And there's even talk of cutting out Mexico and just having a direct agreement between Canada and the United States. So we'll have to see how these things play out. But as a result, Harold, you're in a situation where there's a lot of doubt and uncertainty with those markets. And now's the time, and we're seeing it with all the stories that we're talking about. Get into the U.S. dollar. Speak with Harold, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And when we have the Bank of Canada coming out and saying that they're not going to be raising rates, there's a potential cut, then you know as the United States raises rates, Canada stays static or cuts rates, it's just math. The U.S. dollar will go up. Harold, now is the time to position yourself in the U.S. dollar and take advantage of the moves that are ahead.
You better believe it. And again, we still have time to do it, but it is something that you want to start to get into right at this particular point. Again, it's extremely important to have your money working for you, not working against you. And again, at this particular point, that's exactly what's happening. If you're not getting excited about opportunities outside of the Canadian dollar and outside of conventional markets. Let's face it, the stock market looks great on paper. The Dow is over 2,000, but 90% of the people that trade it lose their money because they don't know what to do. And money managers don't really know what to do. In actual fact, you'd be shocked if you actually followed your money manager home and found out how he lived versus how you live. You would never give them your money. So, again, at this particular point, there's phenomenal opportunity. If you don't understand them, give me a call. I'll spend as much time with you as you need. I speak to several clients a day, and what I really enjoy is hearing from listeners that have listened to our show, Randy, for 10, 12, 15 years now, and this is the first time that they're actually talking to us, and they never expected that when they called the number that I would actually be on the phone speaking with them, but it happens several times a day, and that's what I really love to do, is to help my clients. So, again, at this point, we've got some great opportunities. Gold's down $16 as we speak. Silver's down 30 cents. We need to get out of investments at this point that you're losing on and get you into the right investments that are going to cement your future. We still have a good opportunity to be able to retire one day, but if you sit there with your money in retirement savings plans where nobody is making any money, you're never going to be able to retire because interest rates are going to go negative, and you're going to literally have to pay the bank if you're keeping your money there. So please get in touch. Let me explain to you what your options are, and let's make some money together.
Telephone number to connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And as Harold said, it's gratifying to hear from people that have made an investment and done well, and as a result, their life is greatly improved. And Harold does take your calls. That was one of the funny things about U.S. President Trump. People were stunned before the Secret Service took away his cell phone and gave him a more secure cell phone. They would call him, and he would be there. And they were like, what? He answers the phone. Even if he doesn't know what the number is, he'll answer the phone. Harold, you can get through to him. All you need to do is call 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. One of the things that Canada and the United States needs to be concerned about is mounting debt. And here's how much the U.S. government added under former U.S. President Obama. As part of the broader economic legacy of the Obama administration, from jobs to the stock market, one of the most notable changes has been the increase in the national debt. Based on quarterly data released by the U.S. Treasury, the debt at the end of 2008, just before Obama took office, stood at roughly $10.7 trillion. As of the third quarter of 2016, the most recent data available, the debt that Obama is set to leave office stood at $19.6 trillion, based on the website usdebtclock.com, which extrapolates the U.S. national debt in real time based on committed government spending. The debt will be roughly $20 trillion when President-elect Trump takes office, and he did a couple Fridays ago. Thus, the national debt under Obama will have grown about $9 trillion, or an increase of 86%. And that's one of the things that we're concerned about here in Canada as well, as we have the Liberal government in place and our Prime Minister Trudeau talking about deficits for an extended period of time, and that gets to be worrisome when the debt continues to mount year after year after year. But a big number. You're looking at $9 trillion, an 86% increase. There are people that believe, including a professor, Lawrence Klotnikoff, believes that the United States, based on entitlements, is actually $200 trillion in debt when you factor in Social Security and Medicare and all the promises made to the baby boomers that are now retiring in the United States. And obviously, here in Canada, too, baby boomers retiring. And that will put a bit of pressure on the system depending on how it is handled. Connect with Harold. Talk to him about what's happening in Canada with Bill C-15. If you're wondering what is Bill C-15, call Harold. It's about bank bail-ins. He'll explain it to you. 1-800-432-1022. Obviously, we're concerned about negative interest rates in Canada. If our Bank of Canada head, Pelosi, goes ahead and does reduce interest rates to a quarter point, it's getting very dangerously close to negative interest rates. A weaker Canadian dollar, oil prices that are obviously gyrating, housing problems in Vancouver and Toronto. Can't forget about a cashless society. And then you add in the geopolitical concerns all around the world. There are a lot of financial questions today, and that's why Harold and I have been doing the radio show together. Harold was doing it a little bit before I came along in 2002, but people are looking for answers. And that's why Harold does the radio show, to give you the answers via the radio show. And if you want to delve further, obviously give him a call. 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We are on today prior to the NHL All-Star Game in Los Angeles at 1:30. The show from 12:30 to 1:30 today. And then it will be Connor McDavid, our captain of the Edmonton Oilers, heading up one of the All-Star teams in Los Angeles. Half an hour to go, roughly, in the show, and we'll come back and talk more as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial endowment expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on January 26th, 2017. Our time is 9:10 Mountain. Today, we are on prior to the NHL All-Star Game on 6:30 CHED. Normally, we're on Sunday at 3. Today, on from 12:30 to 1:30. And good luck to Edmonton Oilers captain Connor McDavid, as he's going to be playing in the All-Star Game and heading up one of the teams. So good luck to everyone involved with the All-Star Game in Los Angeles. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com, and we have a diamond. And you'll love the backstory on this. Harold will tell us. It sort of gives me the chills when I heard it, to be honest with you. The diamond is a .51 carat radiant cut, fancy, intense orange. Now, the cut is amazing, and the color is outstanding. You can see it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured Diamond of the Week. Now, last week we had a story from the Wall Street Journal about colored diamonds. This week we have, is jewelry the last brilliant investment? And that is an article we'll touch on here momentarily, but we encourage you to get our free weekly newsletter from Harold and read that article over. One of the quotes from Chris Delgado, jewelry expert: "Jewelry is an investment you can wear for 30 years and then sell. What else can you do that with?" But Harold, tell us the backstory on this diamond, because we were the cutters. Very exciting.
You bet. So we cut a magnificent green diamond a while back, and it turned out to be the only pure, fancy, green, flawless diamond ever. So that was outstanding. I mean, to get a green diamond that's absolutely flawless is possibly one of the rarest things. There's been a lot of blue diamonds that have turned out flawless, but green, you just very, very seldom ever see them. So we were very fortunate that we cut one diamond that turned out to be fancy green, internally flawless, and then lo and behold, we cut another green diamond the other day, or we started to cut it, and the cutter in Israel called and said that it was either going to be a VVS1 or a flawless again. So, again, you just never ever know what these diamonds are going to turn out to be. Now, I have to give all credit to that to my partner, Jose Amon. He's been in the diamond cutting business and mining business for 4 generations now, from his, great-grandfather down to his grandfather, to his father, to him, and now to his children. That's what they do. Their business was mining white diamonds primarily. They're from Venezuela, and basically they would mine white diamonds. They would cut and polish them and sell them to the jewelry trade, which is primarily what 90% of the diamond business is. It's only when he became partners with me that we really start to go into the colored diamond market, even though his family has over $500 million worth of colored diamonds in their collection. So there's no doubt that that's where the major wealth is built. You know, diamonds are not a short-term thing. You want to put them away for a longer period of time because they build phenomenal family wealth. And that's exactly what we've seen not only with the Amon family, but with many families. I mean, last year, you know, the biggest news that came out in the auction business was when Shirley Temple's blue diamonds sold for $25 million. I mean, it was bought in 1940 for $7,100, and it sold in 2016 for $25 million. That's a long time. It's a 76-year-old diamond. However, the fact is it was kept within the family, and it was enjoyed and viewed and sometimes worn, and it was a magnificent piece. But just imagine, it went from $7,100 all the way up to $25 million. So the fact is that when you put these diamonds away into the family trust type of thing, that's where wealth is really built. And that's where some of the wealthiest people in the world have made phenomenal returns on investment, is because of putting away assets like diamonds. They're alternative assets. You know, some people that are in the inside made a lot of money in stocks and real estate. But most people that trade in those markets that don't know what they're doing don't make money with them. But the fact is that if you own a rare colored diamond and you put that away for a long period of time, the returns can be astronomical. And that's exactly what we're seeing at this particular point. So, again, we're just ecstatic. I've always put away for my family, for my children when they were growing up, and now my grandchildren, diamonds. I don't buy them General Motors stock. I don't buy them anything like that. I put away diamonds for the long term because, you know, when they were 1, 2, 3 years old, they obviously had no clue that this asset was sitting in a safety deposit box for them. But by the time they're 28 or 30 years old, these assets are going to be worth a fortune. And they could be sold in other currencies. So, again, we're just really excited about what's happening in the rare diamond market. And the fact is that it's the true way to build extreme wealth. A lot of my clients own diamonds, but a lot of my clients are doing very well in business and don't need to sell their diamond. So this is exactly what the game plan is that you put them away and just let them gain wealth. If you happen to own an Argyle pink diamond, that's one of the best investments you could ever make. The Argyle mine in Western Australia is going to close within less than 3 years, and they produce 95% of all the pink diamonds in the world. There will not be any more pink diamonds. The prices could go substantially higher. The longer you put a pink diamond away for, the more and more and more it's worth. My wife's girlfriend inherited a 5-carat pink from her grandmother, who bought the diamond 50 years ago for $50,000, and today the diamond is worth $5 million. She gave it to her granddaughter. Her granddaughter wears it, you know, when she goes out type of thing, and that's how you build wealth. That's how Elizabeth Taylor built wealth. So we're going to continue to bring you amazing diamonds. The next major trend in diamonds is in greens. That's where we're putting most of our money, is into the green diamond market. We've seen what happened with blue diamonds. Back in 2005, a high-quality, vivid blue diamond would sell for about $200,000 a carat. That was in 2005. It's now 2017, and those same diamonds could be selling upwards of $4 to $5 million a carat. That's what the diamond market is about. You don't buy a diamond for a short term to hold it for 4 or 5 years. You're just not going to make a lot of money with it. You won't lose money with it, but you won't make a lot of money. The beautiful thing about diamonds is that over the longer term, they'll make you more money than any other asset, and number two, they can be sold in other currencies. Right now, they're priced in U.S. dollars. So the fact is that the U.S. dollar being the strongest currency, any of my clients from Canada or England or any place that has a currency that's worth less is going to make a big return on the currency and on the dollar. So, again, we're just ecstatic about this. This is something that we brought to our clients' attentions over 10 years ago, and it's just done extremely well, but by far the best is yet to come. So now we're putting most of our money into the green diamond market. We feel that that's where the biggest returns are going to be. We started cutting some green diamonds, and lo and behold, we're finding these amazing gems, and it's just a thrilling situation. The other diamonds that we're cutting right now are orange diamonds. So greens and orange are the next blues and reds, and that's where some substantial money is going to be made, not only in appreciation of the diamond, but also on the currency, which is, again, where a lot of money is going to be made. So as you can tell, we're heavily into the alternative asset market. We don't trade stocks. 90% of the people that trade them lose their money. We very seldom trade, heavily in the leveraged commodity business anymore. We do have some clients that like the action, and we help them with those, but all in all, we're a conservative firm. We're a conservative firm that has made some private investments that are returning much more than the norm. Keeping your money in the bank, you're lucky to get 0.5%. My clients are making over 25% a year, and they're making it in U.S. dollars. So if you want to know how to do that, and want to talk to me personally and get a better understanding of the currency markets and the gold market and the diamond market, I'll spend as much time with it as you need. You do not have to be a wealthy person to deal with me. Most of my clients are not. Most of my clients are hard-working, everyday Canadians that just want to do better than 0.5% in the bank and losing their money in their retirement savings plans. So if you're sitting in metals at this point, you need to call me. We need to devise a strategy to get out of losing metals at this point and put it to work in other projects that are making much more money. We'll have plenty of opportunity to get back into gold and silver, but at much lower prices. If you're financing your metals with any of the firms in Vancouver or Toronto, you need to give me a call, and I'll show you exactly how we get out of those markets and get your money working for you in a positive way.
Speak with Harold about that. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And obviously, Harold, when he talks about precious metals, he comes with a lot of credibility. He was the one that first brought it to our attention back in 2000, 2002, when gold was around $250. It went all the way up to $1,900. That was the call that Harold Siegel made. And trust me, there was no one else there at that time except for maybe John Embry and a smattering of a few others, but it was really Harold Siegel and John Embry in Canada saying buy gold. So if Harold is coming up with another call and you are invested in precious metals, then definitely speak with him and get more information. It's obviously a free call and would cost nothing to speak with Harold personally and privately about that market. 1-800-432-1022. The website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week. And this was cut by Harold Siegel's company. Rarecoloreddiamonds.com, a 0.51 carat radiant cut, fancy intense orange. It is so gorgeous, the cut and the color. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. And one of the stories we have, and we had an outstanding story last week from the Wall Street Journal about colored diamonds. This week, Town and Country have an article out that's going to be in their February edition. It's called, Is Jewelry the Last Brilliant Investment? A small but influential group of experts make the case for putting your money in diamonds, gems, jewelry. If you buy true quality diamonds, gem jewelries, and have a bit of patience, you will not lose money, according to Henry Berdougian, and he is bullish on this market, and he has a right to be. For the past 16 years, he was the CEO of Graf Diamonds North America, where he had access to the world's finest specimens and also honed an eye for the truly rare ones. In October, he announced his retirement from Graf to form Arcot Finance, described as a fine gem investment firm with Harbinger Capital hedge fund manager Phil Falcone. The establishment of Arcot highlights the role of stones, diamonds, and jewelry as a new asset class. And that's something that Harold Siegel brought to us back in 2005. In August of that year, he wrote his article, Naturally Fancy Colored Diamonds, the Best Kept Secret, and brought to the world rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And obviously, we know what's happened since that point in time. And in this article, they go on to mention the notion of stones, diamonds, and jewelry as an asset class is one that is only recently caught on in the United States, says Bill Noble of Dallas's William Noble Rare Jewels. Among the stones, Noble says to be considered as an asset class are fancy vivid pink or blue diamonds. And he says these type of gemstones are not only a hedge against inflation, he says, but there's such a limited supply that their value cannot be swayed by government interference or price manipulation because there is not a hidden stockpile or mine. Now, they go on to add, and this is something we've touched on before, to illustrate his point, Noble points to the Shirley Temple diamond, a 9.54-carat fancy deep blue purchased in 1940 for $7,210 and recently sold and valued at $25 to $35 million. He says Americans have been the last to understand that jewelry, diamonds, and gemstones provide a concentrated form of wealth that comes close to a true currency because they're rare, transferable, durable, and portable. Legends of Russian and French aristocrats fleeing revolutions with diamonds sewn into the hems still resonate. He says, I know people who want to put some diamonds away. They know in uncertain times they can sell them quickly. That according to Chris Delgado, who's a jewelry expert. And he goes on to add that they know that they can take the stones with them. You can't do that with a building. It's a bunker mentality. Also, Bardoujian certainly has the experience with the idea of diamonds, jewelry, and gemstones as a solid investment. He says clients have asked him for lots worth $1 million for each of their grandchildren to be stored in safe deposit box, knowing that they will appreciate in value over time. They see it as a safe haven, he says, and jewelry might not outdo real estate or the S&P over the long run, but they go on to add, the best purchase you can make in the luxury sector is diamonds, obviously jewelry, and gemstones. It's an investment you can wear for 30 years and then sell. What else can you do that with? Do you have a suit from 1968? If you do, maybe we should have a talk, but that's another story. There's also a simple fact, he adds, that in addition to quality workmanship, you should buy what you love. That's something that will pay a dividend every time you put it on, according to Delgado. And Harold, that's something that we've advocated for a long time. Obviously, the beauty of investing in diamonds and jewelry, creating jewelry from the diamonds you invest in, that wearable aspect of it, at the same time, it being an investment. When you walk in a room, you get that attention that everyone loves, and yet at the same time, you know over the long term, you have an appreciating asset, as we've seen with Shirley Temple, that 9.54-carat fancy deep blue in 1940, $7,200, sold some 70 years later, $25 to $35 million. And that won't happen for everyone, but the truth of the matter is it gives you an idea of the possibilities of this market.
You better believe it. Again, it's an alternative asset market, and when you look at the people that invest in this, sure, they always advertise and talk about the wealthy people that are buying $25 and $50 million diamonds. However, if you look at auction results, as we do very closely, you will find that it's the medium-priced diamonds, not the multi-million-dollar diamonds, that actually have the biggest increases. Diamonds that may be under $100,000. So the fact is that rare color diamonds is an amazing asset to own. They're a longer-term investment. We're going to have some auctions coming up. We have a live virtual auction, but what we're doing with our auction site now is that we're making it into an eBay-style type of auction, but much better than that. And we're hoping to have our first auction of the year sometime in February. It's going to be sensational. And as I'm going through the diamonds and different things that we're going to be putting up, because it's not only going to be a diamond auction, we're going to do some beautiful gold coins and silver coins and some other amazing pieces. I'm actually deciding whether I want to put up Elizabeth Taylor's brooch which will attract an awful lot of attention, especially from Europe. So, again, that's where the biggest money is. It's in colored diamonds. It's in very rare art. Again, most people do not make money trading and speculating in stocks and commodities. You build wealth by owning an asset that is a superior asset that, you know, is extremely rare, and that's exactly what diamonds do. So, again, we're just ecstatic at this point. We believe that this trend is going to continue, and one of the jobs that I do, and I think I do very well, is to outline trends. We did it in gold and silver. We had the biggest bull market of all time, and in oil and in currencies and in certain diamonds. But by far, I believe at this point that it's the green and orange diamond market that is really going to start to take off. So, again, we want our clients involved. We got a great opportunity to make an awful lot of money, and you need to contact us so we could show you how to do this properly.
And Harold, for those that are listening to us for the first time, you do have jewelry that originally belonged to Elizabeth Taylor.
I certainly do. I have the last 8 pieces of her estate, and it is spectacular. So I am very strongly considering putting up one of Elizabeth Taylor's pieces on our next auction, along with other amazing pieces, and we will definitely let you know when that next auction is going to be. 1-800-432-1022. Speak with Harold about investing in hard assets. He has programs in place where you can start making money today. Our featured diamond of the week is a 0.51 carat radiant cut, fancy intense orange. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week. Get our free weekly newsletter, the companion to our radio show. Speak with Harold personally and privately. 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, and get that article. Is jewelry the last brilliant investment? As well, we have that article from last week, the Wall Street Journal, talking about investing in colored diamonds. And it goes to show the strength of this investment when you have major publications like the Wall Street Journal and Town and Country writing about investing in this area. 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And Harold, we have about 2 minutes left here before we pass it off to the All-Star Game. Closing thoughts. Yes. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world at this particular point, and what chance does the small investor really have? You know, the fact is that the experts tell you to put your money away in a retirement savings plan and you're going to be able to retire comfortably. We all know at this point here that that's never going to happen. Most people have not made money in a retirement savings plan for over a decade, and they won't. Let me show you how to take that money and put it to work for you in other areas. There's a big move coming in currencies, and we have to make certain that our clients are on the right side of that trade. So again, give me a call. I'll spend as much time with you as you need and explain to you what your opportunities are in the currency, in the alternative asset markets, and how to get out of bad investments and turn them into something substantial.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel, for your knowledge and another outstanding show.
It's my pleasure, Randy. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Check it out online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week, a 0.51 carat radiant cut, fancy intense orange. You will be so impressed. This is a museum piece, diamond that was taken by Harold's company and cut by his company personally for an investor that is going to enjoy this diamond for many, many years, decades, and ultimately will reap the reward of owning this at the end, knowing that if they want, they can sell it as an investment. And as Chris Delgado said, the jewelry expert, jewelry is an investment you can wear for 30 years and then sell. What else can you do that with? And the reason we do our radio show, obviously, as Harold has said, for many years, help out the little guy. And that's why we're here. Harold will be happy to take your calls at 1-800-432-1022 or rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Good luck to the Edmonton Oilers' Connor McDavid, captain in the NHL All-Star Game, getting underway here shortly. And good luck to everyone involved in the All-Star Game in Los Angeles. That's it, another edition. The World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next weekend.